Hey, boys and girls, it's Dr. Murphy. Before we get into the January book read, I would love to provide an update on Dolly and Ruby, who you see in that picture. Gosh, I think it's been almost 2 months since I last shared a video with all of you. So, as you know, we had winter break and we even had some snow over the break. So, I have a couple of pictures and even videos from over break. Let me share with you. First of all, this is the two of them sleeping. I don't know if you could have, if you heard that, but Dolly is the most content dog when she sleeps. She breathes so loud, which cracks me up, cracks my whole family up. So I don't know if you could hear that on your smart boards, but that was Dolly really sleeping and enjoying it, and Ruby right next to her. Here's a couple of pictures at a local place I like to go to. Well, the one on the left is the place called Cordwood Park, and that's Dolly on the left. On the right, I just wanted to show, this is often how Ruby shows up in our house with a stick in her mouth, because she runs outside at our house and she loves to find sticks and share them with us. So I'm going to share a couple of videos of just Ruby having some fun. She's definitely more active in her pursuits than Dolly. So let's get into this. This is after the snow. This is just my mornings with Ruby. Early. Dolly stays sleeping inside, and I go outside, even if it's cold. And Ruby runs into the woods, and then she comes back to me while I enjoy my cup of coffee. So I love to start my day like that. Here's what it looked like after it snowed. Remember when it snowed? The big snowstorm? Watch how excited Ruby is. Dolly's like, I don't know if I want to get my paws wet, my paws cold, where Ruby jumps into that snow. And she's good. She always comes back. Let's see what I got here. Oh, this trying to shovel. That's my son John. Yeah, this was me trying to get some footage for all of you guys of Ruby enjoying us shoveling the snow. And honestly, she tries to bite the shovels when we shovel the snow. So it's not always easy, but we do it with her out there because she enjoys it so much. And then here's a little example of throwing sticks at cordwood. Again, you'll see Dolly here who could care less about the sticks. Last thing I wanted to show you is I had some visitors in my yard who were not Dolly and Ruby. I don't know if you can see on the left there, I have a couple of deer right beyond where the dogs can go in my yard. Here's a little quick clip. So we sometimes see deer at our house as often as we see squirrels. So it's something I'm used to, but I still get a kick out of it. So that's my update about all the animals in my life, and you'll now see me in the next clip move on to the book read. I'll see you in a second. Hey, boys and girls. So here we are for our third book read. And I'm so excited about this one, even though it seems as if the snow has melted around us. It's that time of year where we think about snow. We think about snow days. Will Dr. Murphy call a snow day so we could stay home and play in the snow, build snowmen, have fun at home? So this book is titled Over and Under the Snow. So let's get started. Over the snow I glide, into woods frosted fresh and white. Over the snow, a flash of fur. A red squirrel disappears down a crack. Where did he go? Under the snow, Dad says. Under the snow is a whole secret kingdom where the smallest forest animals stay safe and warm. You're skiing over them now. Wow, so I love what's going on these 2 pages. There's a lot of detail, even though we see just kind of snow-covered grounds. Can anyone see the tail of that squirrel in the first picture, first page? Right, you see it there in the distance. And then, of course, on the second page, you see what's happening underneath that snow by the tree. Over the snow I glide, past beech trees, rattling leftover leaves and strong, silent pines that stretch to the sky. On a high branch, a great horned owl keeps watch. Who knows what an owl says? Go ahead. I think I can hear it from here. Hoo, hoo. Under the snow, a tiny shrew dodges columns of ice. It follows a cool tunnel along the moss out of sight. Look, Dad says. Tracks. Tracks always tell a story. What are tracks, boys and girls? Can anyone raise their hand? Right? Tracks in the snow, they're like footprints, right? Over the snow, I'm just going to move my image a little bit. Over the snow, a deer has crossed our path. Deep hoof prints punch through the crust, up the hill, under a tree. An oval of melted snow tells the story of a good night's sleep. Under the snow, deer mice doze. They cuddle up against the cold in a nest of feathers and fur. Anybody, there's a word there that they kind of explained, the word doze. Does anybody know what doze means? Good. Doze means to sleep, right? To fall asleep. Over the snow I climb, digging in my edges so I don't slide back down. Under the snow, voles scratch through slippery tunnels, searching for morsels from summer feasts. Morsels, like crumbs, right? Little morsels of food. Over the snow, I swoosh down, down, faster, faster, down, faster, faster. Whoops. By the way, that's happened to me. I'm not someone who has skied a lot. I've probably skied 4 or 5 times in my life, and I'm more like this guy, where I'm about to fall down and often do. So that's something that I'm still working on, is becoming a better skier. Under the snow, a snowshoe hare watches from a shelter of spruce, almost invisible. She smooths her fur, a coat of winter white. Over the snow I glide, past reeds where tadpoles play tag in springtime. Under the snow, fat bullfrogs snooze. They dream of sun-warm days back when they had tails. Anybody know or can do the sound of a bullfrog? Are bullfrogs different than toads? That's something I think I'd have to look up. I'm not actually certain myself. But what do we know frogs, what noise do they make? Maybe just when they're awake. Ribbit, right? Ribbit. So I don't know when they're snoozing if they're still making any noise. But they certainly look like they're enjoying their naps there, their long naps. Over the snow, I stand and stare. Little mountains in the marsh. Under the snow, beavers gnaw on aspen bark, settled in for supper. Can they hear my tummy rumbling too? Over the snow, stop. A sound. You can see on that page, listens, listens, listens still. It looks like, right, there's a red box there, and they're just watching. We stand like statues carved in ice till a bushy-tailed fox steps from a thicket, tips his ear to the ground, listens, listens, listens still, leaps and leaps out onto the snow after an invisible dinner. You see that? You kind of see that little mouse there that the fox is going after? Right? The tiny little pink tail. His paws scratch away to find the mouse he heard, scritch, scritch, scratching along underneath, right? So that fox is very, very perceptive and knows that something's going on underneath there, right? Under the snow. Over the snow I glide. A full moon lights my path to supper. Under the snow, a chipmunk wakes for a meal. Bedroom, kitchen, hallway, his house under my feet. I like the way that she thinks about that, right? That chipmunk has everything he needs under the snow, like we have at our homes, right? A bedroom, a kitchen, a hallway. That's the house for the chipmunk under the snow. Over the snow, I climb one last hill. Bonfire smoke rises. Warm hands, hot cocoa, hot dogs sizzling on pointed sticks. Under the snow, a black bear snores, still full of October blueberries and trout. Sorry, I was doing my black bear snoring impression. How'd I do, boys and girls? I think I could work on that a little bit. I'll do better. Over the snow, the fire crackles and sparks shoot up to the stars. I lick sticky marshmallow from my lips and lean back with heavy eyes. Shadows dance in the flames. Under the snow, a queen bumblebee drowses away. December, all alone. She'll rule a new colony in spring. Wow, I think we're seeing a pattern here, right? Of all of these, the animals, in this case the bumblebee, under the snow and resting during wintertime. By the way, who enjoys, maybe just a show of hands, having a fire outside with the wood crackling and the marshmallow on the stick? Is there anything better than that? I love that so much. Over the snow, I glide home on tired legs. Clouds whisper down feathery, soft flakes. Under the covers, I snuggle deep and drift into dreams. Looks like she's having really, really good dreams at this point from a long day, right? So tired. Dreams of cuddling deer mice and slumbering frogs, hungry beavers and tunneling voles, drowsy bears. I tried again. I tried my snoring bear. Drowsy bears and busy squirrels and the secret kingdom under the snow. And look at that last picture on that page, boys and girls. The stars, right? And we see all the constellations in the sky. Those are the nights, I think, that you always remember when you're out under the stars in the winter and it seems like you can see every single one of them. Now let's take a look. I know that the book is over, but I really like this author's note, right? The author, I think, let me go back quick. Under this, Kate Mesner, right? That's the author. So Kate wrote, there really is a secret kingdom under the snow. Scientists call it the subnivean zone. Wow, that's a new word, subnivean zone. It's a network of small open spaces and tunnels between the snowpack and the ground. It's created when heat from the ground melts some of the snow next to it and leaves a layer of air just above the dirt and fallen leaves. Wow, that sounds so cool. A layer of air, so just above the dirt, right? Right, pretend this is dirt. Just above that, there's this like layer of air. Many animals depend on the subnivean zone to survive the winter. For one thing, the snow acts like the insulation in our houses and keeps the subnivean zone close to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, even when the air outside is much colder. So I think that's what the author means by insulation, right? We don't really see this, but in our houses, in our walls, there's insulation, and that's what keeps our houses warm, our houses insulated along with our heating system, and that's what keeps us warm. Small rodents like mice, moles, and voles travel under the snow because it helps keep them safe from predators. Animals like hawks that would like to eat them. I think we saw a predator in this book as well, right? Let's read about it here. Some predators get tricky though. Weasels have skinny bodies and can squeeze into the tunnels in search of prey. Red foxes, that's what I was thinking of, like the one in this story, have fantastic hearing. Remember that part of the story when the fox was listening? They listen carefully for noises under the snow and can figure out just when and where to pounce to collapse the tunnel and trap a mouse for a meal. So this was a great book. I must acknowledge Dr. Reingold, who helps me pick out these books. And before I go, I'd like you to reflect a little bit, and I'm going to leave you with two questions. The first one is, what surprised you the most about the animals living under the snow? I just want you to think about this right now. You don't have to shout it out or say it out loud, but what surprised you the most about the animals under the snow from the book? And the second question is, and this one's fun, if you could be any animal from the story, which one would you choose and why? It's funny, I feel like if I'm answering that question, I have to go with the snoring bear, right? The bear that's sleeping for the winter that I tried to do an impression of with my snoring when I was reading. So I think if I had to pick one, I'd pick the bear. And the reason for me is that bear looked so content. Like you know when you have like a really cozy nap and nothing's going to wake you up? That's what it seemed like the bear was experiencing. So with that, boys and girls, I'm going to close out my January book read. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon in the buildings. Take care, boys and girls.